All right, folks, welcome back. So there's a woman named Lindy Li. She bills herself as this longtime member of the DNC Finance Committee. And during the election, oh my goodness, Lindy just had so much to say about Kamala Harris and about, the Democrats. And, she was, posting photos and all those different things. And she was doing all of that sort of stuff. But now all of a sudden, she's now singing a different tune. Now all of a sudden, she's complaining, and now she's saying that this is wrong, it is unfair, and what's going on, and that that Vice President Kamala Harris has left a stench, if you will, with the party, and she should not run again. She's critical of the money that they raised in the campaign, and on and on and on and on and on. And so she's got a whole lot to say about what went on. Now, what was interesting is poor little Lindy, y'all. Lindy got a little attitude because I ripped her. And Lindy decided that she could not take. Now, mind you, she got all the smoke for Vice President Kamala Harris, but poor little Lindy. If y'all go to my iPad, little Lindy has blocked me on Twitter because I was lighting her little simpleton ass up, And so, if you want to see a suck up, here it is here. Oh, today's my birthday. What an absolute joy and honor joining the incredible, the one and only Kevin Cork, who is truly a national treasure. Spending time with the Fox and Friends family, Will Kane, is the best way to spend my birthday. Sending love and warmth to you all. That's her just so happy, and she just cheesing being on the Fox News set. The same Fox News that paid $787.5 million in the defamation case because they were advancing election lies. The same Fox News that continue to lie and lie and lie and lie. And in fact, Lindy has so much to say that she went on Mark Halperin, the dude who had issues, sexual harassment issues, so he got canned from ABC and from MSNBC and lost all of his other stuff. And then, so she goes on his podcast talking with Meghan McCain, who is, I'm sorry, only has anything in life because of my father, General John McCain. And so here's little Lindy sharing her thoughts and perspective on why the Democrats didn't win.
Silence, because I held my tongue for years because I wanted democracy to prevail. Frankly, that was it. But now that she lost, I feel liberated to say things that I have felt for years, which is that the woke progressive, it's just going to condemn us to the wilderness for the foreseeable future. And the fact that the DNC chair, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The DNC chair, Jamie Harrison, just last week doubled down on identity politics. This is a losing approach, and he's still going full steam ahead. There's no remorse, no introspection. Not to mention the fact, you had Kamala Harris campaign senior advisors on the Pod Save America show, not demonstrating any sort of circumspection or self-analysis, and not taking any responsibility for doing things like spending $2.5 million in.
Okay, so she's again just running her mouth, and she's just complaining about everything. And the thing that I find to be real funny about poor little Lindy Li is that she's got so much to say, but don't you notice how they woke identity politics, but then they actually can't actually name it. So somebody put this clip together that I thought was real interesting. So check this out. This is Lindy Li talking in August. And then you're going to hear a clip of her talking in November. Listen.
Is now able to galvanize young people in states that were formerly completely out of play. Michigan is back. Young people who are disenchanted or completely tuned out are back. The energy behind her has been absolutely phenomenal. I don't remember this level of excitement since I was a kid cheering for Senator Obama. It took me a year essentially to raise 1.1 million for President Biden. It took me a week to raise 2 million for Kamala Harris.
I want to point out that they waited 3 days. Michelle and Barack Obama waited 3 days to endorse Kamala Harris. It was a silence heard around the world. And prior to Biden's endorsement that no one really anticipated, they were vetting people like Mark Kelly. Kamala Harris wasn't at the top of the ticket. So Biden's endorsement of Harris caught a lot of people off guard, even the chieftains of the party. I really think it was a big It was a big F you to everyone. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so let's just be real clear. So when she talked about they were vetting Mark Kelly, y'all heard me say on this show numerous times that there were people who did not want Vice President Kamala Harris on the ticket. Do you know who told them to go to hell? President Joe Biden. Yep. So for her saying, oh, they were vetting Mark Kelly was never going to be the VP candidate. Ever. It wasn't going to happen. But here's a little bit more of Lindy Li's audition on Fox News. Because see, the real thing she's trying to do, she's trying to get a Fox News contributor job, y'all. I just want y'all to understand. So Lindy Li is desperately trying to become Fox News' favorite Democrat to book. So the game is, let's book a former member of the DNC Finance Committee, because she's no longer on the Finance Committee. I did call and check. She got removed last week. So she's now desperate for relevancy, and so she's running around. Do y'all know how many members there are on the DNC Finance Committee? A lot. A lot. She said, oh, it took me a year to raise $1.1 million. She's not even one of the top party fundraisers. But when you are quick to go on right-wing media and trash Democrats and trash Vice President Kamala Harris in her campaign, Fox News is going to book you all day and all night. It's a little bit more of Lindy.
Well, it's interesting that it sounds to me like there's this shift. We tend to think of big tech, especially in financial tech, as being sort of right or make that left-leaning. Is there a shift to the right happening organically?
Kevin, that's such a great point. I don't think it's just the business world. I think it's across the country. People are fed up and they realize that Biden and Harris, they lied to us for the past 4 years about the cognitive state of our president, and they failed on immigration. The expiration of Title 42 was the original sin. Millions of migrants poured into the country, and I am a naturalized immigrant myself. I'm speaking as an immigrant. My family and I came here with $200. We never took a handout. We waited in line. We followed all the rules. So for immigrants like me who became naturalized Americans, proud and grateful Americans, it's extremely upsetting that people are just flooding into the country willy-nilly.
So it's a rightward shift, both in tech and other areas, too. Lindy Li, always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, so Lindy Li was talking about the rightward trend in tech. Can we cut the bullshit? Do y'all know why there's a rightward trend in tech? Because the Trump tax cuts expire in January 2025. The billionaires want to make the Trump tax cuts permanent. Second of all, everybody knows if you kiss Donald Trump's ass and hand him big bucks, he'll do whatever you want. There are reports circulating right now that Donald Trump, they're going to approve no longer having Tesla have to report accidents in autonomous vehicles. Why? Because he spent $300 million helping Trump win. The rest of these guys, they don't want the government cracking down on big tech. Who's now their big friend? Trump. Who was yelling and screaming, get rid of TikTok? Now, I kind of like TikTok. That's what's going on here. And so Lindy Li is a joke. She's a joke. This was an unprecedented campaign. The reality is this here. If you really want to study the campaign, there were a lot of mistakes made by Vice President Kamala Harris's team. And I'm talking about Jen O'Malley Dillon, Stephanie Cutter, David Plouffe, as well as Quentin Fulks. Lots of screw-ups. But can y'all explain to me, with all of the drama, with Biden dropping out July 21st, Harris having 107 days. By the way, the Biden campaign was broke as hell. The money she raised saved their asses. They got within 1.6% of winning. One of the closest margins in 2 decades. And these people are acting like, oh my God, the world just came crashing down. Oh my God, what do we do? Could anybody have predicted the impact of October 7th in Israel, in Gaza, and Hamas on the election? Nope. The reality is Joe Biden was not popular among young people. He wasn't popular among black people. The fact of the matter is he was old, and he showed it, and he looked feeble. And America likes to project strength. But you know what is the worst thing to happen right now? When you have weak, sorry, pathetic, feckless, and impotent Democrats, including individuals who were members of the DNC's Finance Committee, who have nothing of value to add. They're not crafty. Lindy Li isn't trying to say, hey, how do we craft a game plan to win governor's mansions in 2025? How do we craft a game plan to win the Wisconsin Supreme Court race in 2025? How do we make sure the Democrats keep control of the House in Virginia in 2025? How do we craft a plan to win the seats needed in 2026 in the midterms? No, all she's doing is taking her bony ass on Fox News, bitching and moaning about, oh my God, how this was so awful, how things were ran. She has nothing of value to add. Nothing. And then she wants to sit here and talk about, oh, Jamie Harrison, he's continuing the woke identity. Really? Well, Lindy, name it. Please tell me, what is this woke identity politics? Could you please tell? Because I love it how they throw stuff out. They can't name it. I love it how they say, oh, Democrats, they fail the working class. I'm sorry, can you please show me the policies the Republicans have actually passed to benefit the working class? I'll wait. What you see happening right now is what happens when you have weak people who are so desperate for attention that they'll say anything to get it. Because see, if you actually care about winning, you would then be trying to devise plans and strategies to actually win. Instead, little Lindy Li is desperate trying to get her a Fox News contributor job. Because the truth is, she has nothing of value to add. And then she says, oh yes, I'm excited about this. All these things that are happening with the economy. Lindy, do you mean the economy that Biden and Harris fixed? You mean the economy that is on the upswing? Do you mean the first president, the first administration, never to have a negative jobs report in 4 years? So isn't it amazing that Lindy Li will talk about how, oh, I can feel it. This is going to be great, how the economy is turning around. Yeah, Lindy, of course it's great. When the people who put in all the damn work for 4 years rebuilt it, and then you have the idiot who tanked it to come back and then take credit for their work. But then again, it's Donald Trump. He's cheated through life, and he's always taken credit for somebody else's work. So Lindy, if you never come back, fine. Because you know what? You serve no purpose right now. Real quick with my panel, Jade, I'll start with you.
trying not to laugh at Miss Lindy, Miss Little Petite Lindy, but this is the quickest switch up I've seen, like in history, like in political history, because just a few months ago, Miss Lindy was shouting to the rooftop how not only did is she some random donor, she's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Asian American fundraisers in the history of the Democrats on their side. So I quote that. That is what she said a few months ago. So I am so confused and perplexed as to how now she's stating a few months later that Trump actually called his committee actually called her and asked her, would she be willing to switch? Which we know her answer is going to be yes, right? So you actually put your money where your mouth is at when it came to the Harris-Biden campaign. In fact, your family donated buildings to that campaign. So I am so confused as to how you have this switch up. And let me tell you, Roland, Miss Lee is not going to make it. She does not have the skin for politics. She does not have what it takes to be under this administration. If she is blocking you already with her Twitter fingers, she has seen nothing yet. She does not have the heart for this if she's pushing block already.
I'm a Congo.
Ready.
Look, the fact of the matter is that somebody in the chat, video chat, called her, she wants to be an Asian Candace Owens. And people talk about all the reasons why Harris lost. And of course, those are reasons people can look at. But one of the things people also have to be mindful of is that at least 2 to 3 entire networks have voted to lies and misinformation and disinformation. And Lee is looking to be part of that network. Somebody said Nixon could have survived if he had a Fox News. So this is a profitable industry for people. And the fact that she could switch up like that, with Democratic allies like that, who needs enemies, right? Was she a plant the entire time? And so this is why Black Star Network is important, because who else is talking about this, right? There's a whole infrastructure waiting for people to come on with no integrity to these networks and absolutely lie in order to get a comfortable network position as a contributor and a commentator. And if this is the type of stuff that people who are on the extreme left over the Democratic Party need to be calling out. And I haven't seen anything. Where's the resistance? Who got the receipts? To really challenge what she's saying. We're going to see more people like this, because that incentive structure is way too strong and people want to stay on Trump's good side no matter what. I expect to see more, but like someone said, this is an Asian version of Candace Owens.
So here she goes, Candace. She says that Democrats carry the stench of loser after landslide. I guess this photo is right here, is the stench of a loser. Oh, that's Lindy Li in front of a Harris wall side. Candace, go ahead.
It's all about the numbers. And let's take a look at a couple of them. One, we've got Elon Musk donated, 250 million, made 200 billion. Okay, stocks went up by 70%. You've got the Sean Hannity. He makes 45 million over at Fox. That's very attractive to her. You got people like Tim Cook and Mark Zuckerberg. He actually made $1 million donation, right, with Trump. You've got other people, Jeff Bezos. People are lining up to get in bed with what's going to happen on January 20th. And when you think about someone who wants to be a contributor and is trying to reimagine what her life will be at her age, I am not surprised. She reminds me a lot of people who might be contributors, may not even have to believe what they say, but they do see that dollar sign. They do see a career move, and they do see an opening, even if for the next 4 years. They must be courting her very hard for her to actually switch that quickly. And for her, it must make sense. And I mean the sense with the S ends in CENTS. That's what I think that we're seeing here.
Well, and talk about follow the money. This is Lil Lindy speaking on October 30th, 6 days before the election. Since we're talking about money, listen.
Of extremely wealthy business tycoons who understand they have business contracts. In fact, Jeff Bezos, Blue Origin, has a $3.4 billion contract with NASA that he doesn't want to jeopardize. And the LA Times owner has had a long-standing relationship with Trump that he doesn't want to undermine as well. So these people are looking at the polls and they're understandably nervous that Trump will return to power, and they're going to find themselves on the wrong side of the aisle. So what they did was cowardly, absolutely cowardly and reprehensible. But they're doing it to protect their business interests at the expense.
Sounds to me like you are protecting your bottom line as well. Lindy Li, we're done with you. Dismissed.
Hi, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Fanbase is a free to download, free to use, next generation social media platform that allows anyone to have followers and subscribers on the same page. Fanbase was built through investment dollars from equity crowdfunding from the Jobs Act. People just like you help build Fanbase, and we're looking for more people to help build Fanbase. We are currently raising $17 million in a Regulation A crowdfund on Start Engine. We've already crossed $2.1 million, but we're looking to raise more capital from people just like you that deserve the opportunity to invest in early stage startups without having to be accredited investors. So right now, I'd like you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase right now, today. And then use Fanbase to connect with friends, grow your audience, and be you without limits.